Hi there, I'm pastor and author Robert B. Scott of freedomchurchofgod.com. We've got a lot of good material on that site, and the question we're asked right now in these three-part series is, stressed, overwhelmed? Are you? Well, a lot of the men of the Bible were, and you know, all of us, especially in these last days, are stressed. I'm not preaching to the choir, I'm always preaching to myself. As you know, we pastors also go through lots of trials and problems, and this has been a tough week for me. But the Bible says, the Apostle Paul says, he was stressed and overwhelmed for a while, so he would learn not to trust in himself, but in God. In fact, he went through some really problems. He said, I've learned to help others through the problems that I go through. I've learned to seek Jesus in the times of trouble, and that's what I'm learning as well. The Apostle Paul said in 2 Corinthians chapter 1 and verse 8, he says, don't be unaware, brethren, of the sufferings we went through. He had been cursed. He cursed Barnabas. You know, when they split in Acts 15, they split their ways, and they spoke evil of each other. Oh, that mess! Why that guy, that scoundrel? He left me, and he won't go with me. And there was this, you know, fighting. Yeah, among God's apostles and God's servants, there was some fighting. There was imperfection, and they cursed each other, and so they made mistakes. Now, you've made mistakes also, haven't you, that have contributed to some of your problems, some of the stress, some of the overwhelmingness that you've faced. Well, that can be turned over to our great burden bearer, Jesus. And that's where we can have that release of the stress. Paul said we were burdened excessively beyond our strength. They were burdened excessively, but beyond his own strength. And that's where he learned. It says in verse 9 and 10, he said, now we've learned to look to God, to look to Jesus, not to look to ourselves. If we look to ourselves, to our mistakes, to our problems, to our lacks, then we are going to be overwhelmed by the circumstances of life. We need to lay down the sin, lay down the guilt, lay down the stress. You know, that word stress in the Bible is the word distress. It squeezes you in. And in the next couple of videos, we'll be talking about that squeezing and how you don't have to be squeezed by the circumstances around you, how you can look to Jesus, and he is the solution to all distress and all stress. So look forward to the part 2.